Hello again, everybody. Zacatecas is here, my Atakline for this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday, January 18th, 2016. Long live MLK Jr., very influential activist for equal rights and equality for all races, especially within days of the Oscars once again nominating all white actors for the acting awards and no diversity in those categories, no blacks, no other colored actors in those categories. We're still fighting for equality ever, especially in award shows. So, long live the dream of MLK Jr. Now let's get on with the video with my gig review. It's supposed to be gigs. I haven't gigged in about 2 weeks since New Year's Eve. Kicking off my new tour, my Wall is Attack tour. They have the wrestling because I'm a big wrestling fan. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt right now. I just got this New Day Rocks t-shirt. If you're into wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. I was supposed to do 2 gigs this weekend, but one of them got called off. My dad was feeling a little trans-dimensionalized, and also his back hurt on Thursday. So I had to cancel my girls' game that I was supposed to do for Romeo, but his back felt better for the boys' game the next night against Lance Cruz North. A little rusty after 2 weeks. And it was my first boys' game because I did a girls' game last month for them against Ike. But I haven't done a boys' game yet, so I was a little rusty, but I made it through. JV won their game. Very fun game. But then the varsity lost a tough one. Varsity's not doing good because some of the varsity boys, basketball players, play for football. And for those of you who don't know, Romeo went on to win the District 1 football state title. First state title ever in Romeo for football, so it's awesome. But basketball team wasn't ready for it because a lot of football guys were injured and not able to practice with them or try out because of football was still going on. So it's been a tough start for the boys, but I think they'll catch up and have a good finish. Despite a tough loss against Lance Cruz. That was a fun game, though. Fun night. Decent crowd. To kick off the new year. First gig of the year was fun. Little bumps, like I said, but it was still fun. On Friday, I have 2 more gigs this week. Hopefully, we'll make it to both. Boys game on Thursday. They'll take on Chip Valley. And then, I think the girls game, I forgot who they're facing up against. They play Friday. They play on Friday against. Get my calendar up. Utica Ford. They're taking on Utica Ford. Or another. I think it's another team. I think it was Utica Ford last week, but I think I must put that. But okay, so there you go. Boys and girls games Friday and Thursday for Romeo. Now, on with the entertainment news for the weekend. Starting with your number 1 movie. Where the reign of Star Wars came to an end. A lot of reigns ended. Adele's reign on both charts ended, which I'll get to that in a second. But the reign of Star Wars, after 4 weeks, finally ended to Wild Along 2. The Ice Cube Kevin Hart movie debuted at number 1 with a decently impressive $35 million. With The Revenant, the 12th-time Academy Award nominated film, holding on strong at number 2. Well, 13 Hours bombed 16 mil. Yay! Fuck Michael Bay. I read an article, but come on, it's political bullshit. I'm not the biggest political guy in the world. And I won't talk about the infamous Benghazi incident, who to blame, because that's another story for another video. And I'm not attuned on the politics. My dad is, but not me. I'm the more pop culture guy. Hence the attack lines. And, of course, tech sports as well. So, there you go. That's a Ride Along 2. Now, on with your Billboard number 1s. I just mentioned that Adele, her reign at number 1, ended last week, the number 1 single. Her reign on top was ended by Bieber last week, but now number 1 album reign is over. At 6 weeks, her number 1 album reign is over, and it ended posthumously, and deservedly so, by David Bowie. That's right, Black Storm. His final album debuted at number 1, following his untimely death last Monday. So a lot of people bought his album, and of course, a lot of his other albums landed in the top 50, including Ziggy Stardust landed on top of the charts again in the top 50, and his greatest hits album landed in the top 10. You know, a lot of people buying his albums digitally. A lot of people buying his albums. Bieber, as of now, they haven't officially announced who's #1 single yet. But I'm guessing Bieber will retain for the second week in a row for Sorry. So then, congrats to Bieber, and congrats posthumously to David Bowie. For his #1 album, it was released on his birthday, and of course 2 days later he sadly passed away. And a lot of his other albums are in the top 50. But next week's chart, we could see a lot of Eagles albums in the top 50 because, yes, another famous celebrity death. Actually, we had 2 of them over the week, including one that just happened right as I was about to make this video. The death of Eagles founding member Glenn Frey, who is a Michigan native, born in Royal Oak, died at the age of 67 in New York City. We have heard about Glenn being sick because earlier in November, the Eagles were supposed to get a Kennedy Center honor, but they had to postpone receiving it because Glenn Frey wasn't able to travel because Glenn was getting some intestinal surgery, so he wasn't able to travel. So Eagles were supposed to receive the honor this year after a year delay. We'll see if they're even going to receive it at all because of the death of Glenn Frey, but they have to now. They had to postpone the whole year. In a statement released by the Eagles' Facebook page, it is written on here that it's with the heaviest of hearts we announced the passing of Glenn Frey. He fought a courageous battle in the past several weeks, but sadly succumbed to complications from rheumatoid arthritis, acute ulcerated colitis, hope I pronounced that stuff right, and pneumonia. The Frey family would like to thank everyone who joined Glenn to fight this fight and hoped and prayed for his recovery. Words cannot describe our sorrow, nor our love and respect for all that he has given to us, his family, the music community, and millions of fans worldwide. Glenn not just known as a member of the Eagles, but also a solo artist, with hits like You Belong to the City and The Heat Is On from the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. And of course, like any famous celebrity death, millions of testimonials are being posted on Twitter and all over social media. I'll read you a couple of these testimonials. Ryan Adams wrote on his Twitter, R.I.P. Glenn Frey, travel to the stars safely, bro. Steve Martin wrote, shocker. My friend from the early days, an important member of the Eagles, has died. We loved you, Glenn Frey. Chris Love wrote, sigh. Glenn Frey belongs to the city. Still, damn, man, all these legends, man. Nikki Six wrote, R.I.P. Glenn, thank you for all the great songs and powerful lyrics. Jesus, can the Weeper please take a break for a while? Because like I said, we had Bowie. Renee Angelillo, Celine Dion's husband, died on Thursday. So, wow, crazy. And of course, Lemmy last week. So, wow. That's the way the world turns, I suppose. Paul Stanley wrote on his Twitter, shocked to report the death of Glenn Frey, Eagle and brilliant songwriter. We shared some memories at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony a couple years ago. Shocked. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees wrote, joining the Heavenly Band, R.I.P. Glenn Frey. And Mark Maron wrote, R.I.P. Glenn Frey, great songwriter, whether you like it or not. So I got to see the Eagles a couple years ago in 2013. I was supposed to see them in Detroit, but I had to give up the ticket to my mother because I had a gig. So I traveled to Memphis to see them, and they were terrific. Wish Glenn did some solo stuff, but still, it was a fun show. Got to see the Eagles with Glenn, because who knows the future of the Eagles. I know they were suspending touring for a while. They've been on the History of the Eagles tour for 3 years. I saw them the first year of that tour, and they ended the tour last year, but who knows if they're ever going to tour again without Glenn. The Eagles might be done. Like Motorhead isn't Motorhead without Lemmy, but Glenn was as big of a part as anybody else in the band. Eagles with Stanley. You know, Glenn was a big part as much as Don was. And, of course, Joe and Timothy and all them. And, of course, all the other founding members like Don Felder and Randy Meisner. So, There you go. Rest in peace to you, Glenn Frey. Prayers and thoughts to your friends and family at this very sad time. To another tequila sunrise. Couldn't think of any other Eagles song. But I will say he lived life in the fast lane. Indeed. And heaven will receive a new kid in town with Glenn arriving. So there you go. Welcome to heaven, California. I should stop with the puns. Or with Eagles song titles. But I mentioned also Celine Dion had a sad weekend. With her husband dying on Thursday after his battle with throat cancer. He, of course, battled it in 99. Which had to make her leave show business for a while to take care of him. But the cancer came back a couple years ago, which made Celine cancel a bunch of shows in Vegas. But now, Renee lost the battle. And not only that, her brother died 2 days later of cancer as well. Her brother Daniel, so very sad weekend for Celine. Wow. Your husband died and your brother died in the same weekend of cancer. So, like with the Glenn Frey thing, prayers and condolences to Celine and her family for these sad losses at the very sad time. Rest in peace to Renee and Daniel. Godspeed to you both. And Glenn too. Now, on with some Coachella news. Of course, 2 weeks ago, the Coachella lineup was announced and included 2 big reunions. Guns N' Roses and LCD Sound System. But there might be another reunion in place. NWA. Ice Cube is already performing a solo set as part of Coachella, but with the impending Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction for NWA and the success of Straight Outta Compton, besides getting snubbed at the Oscars, he said on the talk that he's trying to get all the surviving members of NWA together for a reunion during this Coachella set, including Dr. Dre. And of course, other members like MC Wen and Yella and all the rest of the gang. So there you go. Looking forward to seeing that. They're probably going to stream that. Coachella always likes to stream the performances on the internet. So they're probably going to stream that performance. So there you go. Ice Cube hopes to have an NWA reunion at Coachella. Now, we'll end with a little bit about the Critics Choice Awards. I didn't see it because I was watching football and also the UFC fight. And it's weird for me not to watch an award show. It's not many. Right. It's not often I miss an award show, but I did. But the big winners included Spotlight winning Best Film overall. Not The Revenant, but Leo did win Best Actor. See You Again from Wiz Khalifa. That got snubbed at the Oscars, but it won at the Critics' Choice. And Amy Schumer won Best Comedic Actress for her movie Trainwrecked, with a very funny Lily Tomlin joke. I saw that on YouTube. Saying, Lily Tomlin, you should have won. I would go down on you. That wasn't bleeped by the censors of A&E. Wow. That got through. That was intriguing. And TJ Miller was the host. I saw a little bit of his opening. Well, I like his stuff. You know, I think he could be a better host than Ricky Gervais, but I think Ricky did well in the Golden Globes last week. He wasn't as host as usual. Other winners, I say Golden Globes predict winners at the Oscars, but I think these guys do too, including Sly winning Best Supporting Actor, and Inside Out winning Best Animated Feature, Amy Winehouse documentary getting Best Documentary Feature, and Jacob Tremblay won Best Young Performer for Woo, with Brie Larson winning Best Actress for that same film. And there was a very interesting speech from what I heard for Jacob Tremblay. He was a young guy and winning that award for Best Young Performer, and I heard it was very emotional and good speech from what I heard. Because like I said, I missed the show. I was watching other things. Weird, a guy like me who likes to make award show stuff missed an award show. Hey, I missed People's Choice because I don't like People's Choice. I think it's rigged. That's why I haven't watched it in a while. And then they'll present all the awards. Because it's only a 2-hour show. They have like 57 awards. They only present like 5. That's why I don't watch it either. For that reason. Anyway, that is my thoughts on the Critics' Choice from what I read. With the big winners going to Spotlight, Revenant, and other films. Big Short won Best Comedy. Mad Max won a couple, including Best Editing and Best Action Film. And George Miller won Best Director, not Alejandro Iñárritu, like he did at Golden Globes. So there you go. And that is it for my Atakline for today. Thank you very much for watching. That in mind, you've been attacked by the news from Zach. See you later, everybody.